Hey, welcome to the Libra Lounge with Keisha. I have in the studio with me today Miss Amber Neal.
Hello.
How are you today?
I am fabulous.
Did I just see you?
I'm channeling my inner Cardi B.
Oh. We also have Miss Shon Willis-Williams in the studio. How are you this morning?
I'm fine. Myself.
With your 2 hours of sleep?
Yes.
Is that what you got?
Yes,
Fabulous
2
she
hours.
looks.
I appreciate you being here because I would have been like, I can't come.
Right. And
I
you know
can't
that's when
do
you
it.
want to fall asleep. Like when it's time to get
Yes,
up, that's
of
when your body says,
course.
"Oh no, we're gonna go ahead and sleep."
Yes.
Yep. Well, today's show is brought to you by Femme Fatale Studio. If you go now and sign up and mention the Libra Lounge or my name, you will get $10 off your initiation fee. Like I said last week, that's like 2 Starbucks coffees.
Yeah.
So that's like good stuff to me,
Which
right?
you don't need. You need to get in the gym.
Right? Exactly. Yeah, because Jenny will go. So I heard you had 2 Starbucks drinks. Let's go.
Yeah.
Okay, so wanted to let you guys know that you can now subscribe to us on iTunes.
Awesome.
You can take my annoying voice everywhere with you. You know, if you're working out, listen to my voice.
Right.
If you're driving, listen to my voice. So yes, iTunes, and you don't have to pay, right? It's free. Okay, we need to change that.
Awesome. Right.
You know, my stuff can't be for free. I want it to be like $10.99 per episode.
Something.
Per minute.
Right, it'll just be me and James, the only 2 that have a subscription to the show on iTunes. Okay, so if you're a friend of the Libra Lounge, you know what time it is. It is time for the Gab.
We know she has a really big mouth, which sounds kind of dirty, and that's probably true too. Let's gossip. The Gab with Keisha.
All right, so do y'all know this chick, Sarah Huckabee Sanders?
Mm.
What does she do? She does something for Trump. She's like the
The
spokesperson
Press
or
secretary.
Mhm. You know she's 35, right?
She looks like she's 85.
I don't.
Is she really?
Yeah,
for
she's
real?
really
Yeah.
35 years old.
She looks like she's been rode hard and put up wet.
She really does. I mean, I don't know if that's, I think she has one of those hard faces
Stress.
anyway.
Yeah.
And then working for Trump, she just has not aged well at all. And when I was like feeling down one day, I'm like, do I need Botox or do I need to put more moisturizer? Then I saw a picture of her and I'm like, I'm good. I'm good. We all right over here. Okay, so Sarah was in Lexington, Virginia, and she went to a restaurant. I think it's called the Red Hen.
Yes.
And the owner asked her to leave because the
Really?
owner's
She did.
staff was not happy about some of Trump's policies and beliefs, and they
Mm.
asked her to leave. What do you guys think about that?
I think he has every right,
Mhm.
to do it. Just like everybody have their own opinion and their, it's his business.
Right.
And if he didn't want her presence there due to her association with somebody that he didn't like, then he had the right to ask her to leave.
Right.
It could have caused a turmoil for his customers. You know what I mean? It
Yeah.
could have just taken the enjoyment out of it.
Right.
So
I think his staff members were really like,
Yeah.
we don't appreciate that. Trump's views on trans in the military, immigration, all of these things. And especially if you are the owner of your own restaurant and it's not a
Right.
franchise, you most
Right.
definitely have the right. Yeah.
Right.
I know some people think that, the owner should not have asked Sarah to go. But here's the thing, you have to work with your staff every day.
Right.
And that's the last thing. I mean, personally, I don't want you to piss your chef off because I don't want
Right.
your chef shitting and
Yeah,
pissing
yeah.
and spitting in my food because they're mad at you
Mhm,
because
mhm.
Sarah was there.
They were uncomfortable.
Yeah. So, of course, Sarah, they always go to social media and she she tried to passive aggressively put the restaurant on blast, but it backfired on her. They're like, we don't want your ass in our restaurant because I would not
Don't
be
come here
happy about
either.
that.
Right.
Yeah, because I
Mhm.
would have been like, let's take a selfie, Sarah.
Mhm.
And then when I posted it, put like devil horns on the top of her head. So, right now, this is a really small town, and they said they're getting all kinds of attention,
Right.
negative and
And
positive.
positive.
Mhm.
I think that's really big of the owner because that's a bit risk.
Right.
Yeah,
To
it is.
lose
Take a
business.
stand.
Yeah.
Mhm.
He stepped out on faith for real.
Yes, he
Like,
really did. I guess Sarah gonna keep her ass out of Lexington, Virginia from now on.
Right.
My bitch. So it seems like every week I'm having to report something on Heather Locklear. Do y'all
I
remember
saw
her?
that. Yes. I love that show, Melrose Place.
Yes, I used to love it
Mhm.
too. So let's see. I think it was a month ago. Heather, I think she beat up her boyfriend, and so
What?
yes, she went ape shit on him. So police were called. I think it was a couple of weeks later. What was it last week? I don't know, but they were called to her house, and she was like, "The next time the police comes to my house, I'm gonna shoot them." I'm like, "Oh, you could not have been black, Spanish, gay, trans, or anything like that, and got away with that statement."
What?
You
Right.
know, yeah.
Right. That wouldn't have passed.
No, not at all. So this week, I'm like, Heather, just what is going on? This week, the police were called back, and it's because, well, she was trying to choke both her parents.
What?
Yeah.
She has totally lost it.
I think she really, really has. And then they said that she was threatening to commit suicide.
I saw they took her away in an ambulance.
They needed to. I mean, they
Did you
really
see how
need
she
to.
looked? I mean, poor thing. She
looks
looks like she's had
awful.
horrible
Yeah.
plastic surgery.
Yeah.
It looks like she has a blotched
messed her
job.
up.
Yeah.
And then she, I mean, but that's something it's a bigger issue as women to talk about, especially entertainment.
Mhm.
It's like once you're over 40,
Yeah.
and then it's like that's I have never had no work done, and nor will I. If
Right.
when I get gray, I might color my hair.
I'll have everything.
But
done.
I'm not gonna. I'm not. Like I'm not.
I will.
Tell me you don't look worse when you get a blotched job.
Well, when you get a
Yeah.
botched job,
You
yes. I
look
mean, they don't have
like-
that show on E for no reason.
But
Right,
I'm
yeah.
just saying,
Botch
what
is
if
real.
you?
It is real.
Yeah.
Like
Yeah.
I don't want. You can't chance it. Like you
Yeah.
can't go
Yeah.
back from that. I mean, a little Botox or a
Yeah.
little something here and
Some
there,
people
but
just go too far.
Yeah.
They just do
some
too
people.
much.
What's
'Cause
that
you
one
need
guy?
something.
I can't remember that movie he played in. He looks wow. I mean,
There's several of them. I think I actually posted on the Libra Lounge Facebook page some before and after photos of celebrities who have just, I mean, look at Donatella Versace.
right.
She's unrecognizable. Even, who was it? John Travolta.
Right.
He's
Mhm.
had, like, it's like they get these
Yeah.
fillers.
Yeah.
He has cheek implants and he's had his eyebrows lifted and the whole face pulled.
That looks-
Yes, and
to
it
me,
just
that
looks
worse.
weird.
That looks worse.
And I, you know, and I get it. It's hard when, as a woman, you start going through the aging process, especially when, like you said, you're in the entertainment business.
Mhm.
But Heather ain't been in nothing for a long time, so I don't know
Right.
what she's trying to look good for.
How's she still supporting herself though?
I'm
Probably
hoping,
residual.
yeah,
Got an infomercial
residual.
running at 4
Well,
a.m.
maybe.
Yeah.
All right.
No, some
Buy
of them
this
do
skincare
invest really
product.
well, though.
Exactly.
It won't make you look like me, I promise.
And then she was married to who was it, Richie Sambora.
Uh-huh.
So I don't know if maybe when they
yeah.
got divorced, she got a chunk of money
Oh,
from
yeah.
that as well.
Probably went up her nose, but
Right. Well, Heather, well, last week when she got arrested, you know, she slapped the police officer and she kicked an EMT.
Wow.
And I was just like, okay, so they did arrest her and she got out on $20,000, a bail for $20,000. So it seems like this time, you know, she was trying to kill herself. So she most definitely has been checked into a facility because I think she's screaming for help.
Yes,
You know.
it is. It is.
Yeah. And I think there's only going to be so many warning calls before she really does something that, I mean, hell, slapping a police officer.
But
that
it's-
was,
Yeah, that's
It's
pretty deep.
a
Yeah.
conversation we still need to keep having, though. Mental illness is so serious.
it is.
Yeah.
And everybody makes fun of it and talks about it, but it's like it's not something we should make fun of. It is something that we need to really finally start talking about.
Right.
Yeah. Because so
Have
many
some serious
people,
conversations.
yeah, so
Yes.
many of us suffer from it.
Yes,
You
it's
know,
true.
it just feels so taboo.
Yeah.
It really, really is. It's like, you know what? You don't have to discuss it with every Tom, Dick, and Harry, but most definitely you need to
Somebody.
be talking to your family.
Mhm.
It's like in the
Mhm.
60s, they didn't talk about sex.
Right.
You know what I mean? People just got married at 17.
Right.
Yeah,
They were
which
so
is
scared
just,
you would have sex.
Yeah.
It's like,
yeah.
or marriage, or having babies. Like they just didn't talk about
Right.
things, you know. And it's like we need to talk about
The
mental.
thing that
health.
is so scary is that the mental illness is starting at a young age.
Right.
I see it even in 2 and 3 year olds
Mhm.
when
Right.
they're actually starting to have meltdowns and
Mhm.
mental breakdowns, and it's not just fits and temper tantrums
Right.
anymore. They're literally something going on in the brain that's not right.
Right. I remember when I was a social worker at a middle school, and the nurse and I were really good friends. And one day we were getting a new student, and who had some issues, and the student had been diagnosed with what was it? A mood
Disorder.
disorder. And I was like, well, God damn, that's me. Like, why has it? I'm like, I'm sure that is me right now. I know. I was like, I never heard of that before. And I'm like, I think that might be what I have.
To find out what I have.
It's just, we still have so many people that, want to go the holistic route. And I totally get that. And that's fine. But there's some situations that you really need chemicals in your body to help you out, because there's an imbalance.
It is. Something missing. Something needs that to be lit. Like, it's burnt out or it didn't turn on at all. You know, so it needs something to get it going.
Right, because once they go out and start committing crimes against other people or harm themselves, you can't come back from that.
Yeah, domestic violence.
Yes,
and, it. Okay, your little homeboy back.
We had a visitor. He's like, I'm going to be in the show regardless, Mama.
Sometimes, your kids just don't know how to act. Whether it's the human kind or the fur kind, as we just witnessed a few seconds ago.
He's serious.
And it's it's abnormal because he usually just chills out.
Right.
Or, I was telling Shon, if there's more than one person in the house that he doesn't know, he's like, I can't do this. It's too much. And he leaves.
But he was so peaceful. He looked at me, he got up, and he just walked on out of here. And I was just, and now he's back.
Yeah, now he's like trying to tear up, everything around the whole set.
Just the studio has to go.
I always tell him, because he's a black cat, I'm like, it's rough on the streets for a black cat.
Right.
Yeah. I need to keep reminding you of this. You live a very lush life. Yeah, that chair is not going to keep him from coming up. Oh, Lord, he got threatened with a chair. Okay, so I discovered this really, 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 really good show. It comes on FX. It's by Ryan Murphy. It's called Pose. Have y'all heard of it? Oh my God, it's so good. Like I have a hard time here in the recent years just being able to sit down and really watch a scripted show.
Yeah.
Because I love reality TV so much, but it's hard for me just to be able to concentrate. So the other night I was like, you know what? Let me try this. Try out this show, and I binge watched it.
Oh, I love doing that on Netflix.
It's fantastic. So it takes place in the late 80s, when it was kind of the boom of AIDS, the AIDS epidemic. And it's about, a lot of the main characters are trans, and it gives you a little bit of the story behind, voguing, for example. And, I'm a big fan of RuPaul's Drag Race. It gives you a lot of the drag race history, but it's really about building family and community. And it's just so good. And the clothes they wear. So good.
I need some help with that.
Girl, they do the damn thing with the clothes on here. They really, really, really do. And I mean, there's one, it's the character's name is Angel, and she was born male, but she's transitioning to female. And I'm just like, she is really cute. I'm like,
is that the young girl?
She's the one with the big hair. Okay. She has lots of hair. Like, this is how good a lot of these characters look. I had to go and Google search. And I'm pretty good because, like I said, we watch RuPaul's Drag Race. I've gone to drag shows, but I literally had to Google search and say, what is it, male? Is it female? Because they look so good. But it's like really good entertainment. If you've not had a chance to see it, it comes on Sunday nights on FX. So, speaking of Cardi B... Did y'all hear that her and Offset have been married?
Yes, we were just talking about that on the way here.
All these months.
Yes.
And, I'm like, they did that big production back in October where he proposed to her at one of her concerts and, gave her this huge ring. It's kind of like, why did they feel the need to do all that if they were already married?
Yeah, that's what we were just talking about on the way here. I love her because she's so real and she's so open with her life, and she's not. There's so much fake book going on, so much fakeness. But I love
Stop talking about me, Amber.
You can be fake if you tried. But that's what I love about them is because she's very open. She's like, we needed to grow up. We had, we had things we had to overcome.
Right.
And she hasn't been like perfect. It's like that's what Shon was saying. It was so funny how she's like, yeah, okay, and what? And I know, I know.
Right.
But that's part of the lifestyle that they're in, so they know this life. And it's also, don't you think, because Shon has been married 30 years. She is.
Well, how old are you?
She looks like
just turned 46.
28.
Really? I was like, when did you get married? When you were 3? Like
well,
what?
I feel like it. Yeah.
And that's a long time.
That's why there are Legends couple this year. I mean, but that's what we need to see more of. But that authentic, hey, you know what? It ain't perfect. We've been through some things. One of our couples got married and re-divorced. One of our couples had a son pass away. I mean, it's about the real love it takes to stay together.
Right.
And it's like, what is, unless your life's in danger or something like that.
Something really serious.
Right. You're going to go through it. I tweeted this story, and Twitter is just a really, really, really weird thing. Sometimes you'll tweet something,
I don't know how to do it.
I'm learning slowly but surely. A lot of stuff I just get on there so I can spoil my 16-year-old daughter. Right. But I actually been trying to, one of my producers was like, you need to get a Twitter page for the show.
Right.
Sometimes you'll tweet like 20 things and don't nobody like it.
Right.
Now, I tweeted about Cardi B, and my Twitter has been blowing up. People coming for each other, like, it ain't none of your business. Why? Right. And then one girl was like, y'all kill me with all this stuff. Y'all let her get away with it. I'm like, who is y'all? I'm like, did you see I have like maybe 40 followers on Twitter? I'm just reporting the story. I love Cardi B as well because, she said that she came for TMZ. She's like, well, see how damn nosy people can be. You know what I mean? But since y'all all know now, okay. Oh, right. She said, because TMZ released, the marriage certificate. I'm like, please do not try to say either one of their names.
I was just talking about that too.
TMZ.
It's so funny. Yeah, TMZ always seems to somehow be somewhere before the public knows something.
I think a lot of them, I truly, because me being a celebrity myself, I usually have someone contact TMZ and say, she might be at this place on this. I really feel like celebrities do that.
No, but
there's no way.
But think about when DMX got arrested. TMZ was already in the jail.
See what I'm saying?
Something's going. Yeah.
I think. You know what? Maybe we need to work for TMZ because obviously they pay very well if they've got people all over.
Yeah, they do.
Because they'll hide in your bushes and your trash can or wherever.
But you guys remember when Michael Jackson did the whole baby over the balcony?
Yes.
And that's when I learned
little blanket.
They said that when they don't feel relevant, when they feel like they're getting their name is too quiet and people haven't really just been talking about them, they do things just so that they'll know. So they'll report. Even false things just to get something to get my name back ringing.
That's a publicity stunt. I think so they were married.
Yeah.
But I think it's cool that because once you're a public figure like that, you're not gonna have no privacy. I mean, even when Beyonce and Jay-Z got married, it was real. I mean, it was everybody knew, but it was real
private. But
it was
private, but everyone still knew about it.
This one is like you share so much of your life. You share everything. It's like something that's special.
Right.
You want to have just for yourself.
And even though I'm just from doing the show, I've gotten recognized twice, which I thought was really weird. Cool. But I was telling my husband exactly what you said. I said, I'm such an open book about so much of my life. I said, there's just some things that I just want for me.
Right.
Exactly. Yeah, because people are like, well, why don't you get rid of your regular, social media and just do the show? I'm like, no.
And you have to get used to getting recognized because I'm very introverted. So I'm out and do whatever, but when I'm in my own time, I do not want to be bothered because I'm in my own world.
Right.
One day I had somebody look at me and I was like, and I gave them kind of like that Ice Cube, what are you looking at?
Right.
And they're like, oh, you're on TV, right? And I'm like, oh, yeah.
Especially you, because you've been on Fox 26.
Yes.
I'm like, why don't they just give her own little part of the show?
But your face was going on that board for, a whole month?
You were on the billboard?
The wall.
I was a hero for Houston for Shell.
That's right. I remember seeing that.
They showed it on the news, and I mean, it looked like every time they would glance on it, Amber's picture would be coming.
Oh, how funny! She paid them to do that. She was like, "Look,
I didn't even know it was on the news. I'm just hearing this for the first. I didn't know
She's like, I'm gonna need y'all to only film every time my face pops up.
Because they do it at 5, and they see it again at 6, and then they did it at 9 o'clock.
Oh, that's good publicity right there.
Well, I didn't know that, but thank you.
It's when you decide to pursue anything in the entertainment business, you still feel like just yourself.
Yeah.
You know, and it's like people really want to know that about me. Like it's weird.
They want to know everything. And it's interesting too. If you come in like already in a relationship or already married, then they kind of accept that.
Right.
But like when Usher, for example, you're single and then you get married, he lost a lot of fans.
Right.
And it's not that the fans, it's just it's like they want to hope.
It's the illusion that
possibly he's gonna meet me.
Right.
If he met her, he'd like his makeup artist. I mean,
I'm
over here bossed all the way up. I really have a chance. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's just
what gets me. I think the most is that when you have you like people think that because so much reality TV right now, they think that you're doing something just for the camera,
right?
Or you're doing something just for the awareness. When I'm just like, you know what, this is my real life. This is not a fairy tale.
Yeah.
This is what really happens in my life. I didn't script this, I didn't go, let me go write this down and we're gonna follow this tomorrow.
Right.
This happens. We have some bad days, some good days, and some days that I don't want to share.
Yes. Yes. There's some days that you don't even want to share how you're feeling with the people in your home.
Right.
You know, you just want to, because I always say it, oh, well, Joe Jackson has passed away.
Oh, no. Right now?
Yes. It was just posted.
I know he was in the hospital.
Yeah, with terminal cancer. I found it a little bit funny. They said that he was surrounded by his wife and some of his kids. Because Joe Jackson was not... he was not afraid to use a belt and belt buckle or whatever he had to.
My daddy. We got to pick our switch.
Well, it looks like he has passed away.
Wow.
That's sad. 80, how many years?
That's a long life.
89, that's
he must have been.
Time.
Josh was telling me this year. How do you do that?
We're trying to figure out how to do some things on social media.
Yeah, it's just live. I mean, it's just because you lost signal, so that's why.
Okay, so when we get back, we are going to talk to Miss Shon, and she's going to tell us about everything that she's doing to bring lupus awareness to all of us. She has quite a good story to tell.
Yes.
We'll be right back. Femme Fatale is a fully equipped boutique-style gym and fitness club that is taking a new and innovative approach to women's health and fitness. Our main goal is to provide a comfortable and completely judgment-free venue for women of all ages and fitness levels to come exercise and feel like a positive, fit family. We understand the busy lifestyle of today's women, so we also provide 30 minutes to 1 hour fitness classes, including the newest trends like boot camps, yoga, and body bar. We also offer a break room for school-aged children to hang out, as well as a tanning bed and sauna. We are located at 689 FM 517 West in Dickinson, Texas, and our phone number is 281-678-8037. Mention the Libra Lounge and get $10 off your initiation fee. We look forward to growing our fit family with you. Welcome back to the Libra Lounge. I'm going to let you both take a moment to formally introduce yourselves because I'll just be like, oh, it's Shon and Amber.
Yeah, right?
There's so much more to both of you. Amber, why don't you go first? Tell us all about who Amber Neal is, Houston's go-to girl.
How long do you have?
Look.
I'm going to take a deep breath. Okay.
I'm going to need you to make it compact.
Okay. So my everything I do is under amberneal.com. Just make life easy. But I am Houston's Millionaire Matchmaker. I'm a professional comedian. I am executive producer and host of the Amber Neal Show. I am the producer for Sports Rap Talk Radio and co-host with Coach Kevin Franklin every Saturday at 11 on 95.3 Jams. I have Amber Neal Productions, and I produce shows for other people. I work with Sabrina a lot. We are partners in we work on major projects, the TV projects that could go to the major networks and things like that. We're always looking for new shows. I recently was cast in a reality show called Becoming Houston. They're following 5 entrepreneurs who make their living through networking. So I did the pilot season last year, and I guess I became so much they asked me to be their official publicist. So this year I launched the Amber Neal PR firm. So that's new. Yay! And because my passion is I started with $0, and so I figured out how to really get myself out there with zero marketing. So my passion is to help other small business owners with the same thing, and then so do the PR, and then I'm also just cast in a reality show about female comedians coming out of Houston.
Nice. So now that Amber has made everyone else feel like they're lazy and not living up to their full potential, Shon, introduce yourself to the Libra Lounge audience.
Hi, Libra Lounge. I am Shon Willis-Williams, and I am a mother of 6.
Oh, goodness gracious.
Of 26 plus years. I have 4 grandchildren. No, 5, I'm sorry. 5 grandbabies. I am an educator, and I have a foundation, Find a Kid for Our Daughters, Inc., which is a nonprofit organization that's registered with the state of Texas, and we basically help women that with autoimmune disease learn how to take care of themselves and bring awareness to their families. We also have a magazine called Fighting for Her Life, which is our second issue right here. Hello. Yes, our second issue is out there. It's Fighting for Her Life. And in the magazine, I tell my story, and others, I share other women's stories, what they've gone through, and how they've, how you're not alone anymore. You feel isolated when you have it. So I just want people to know that they're not alone. And there's some things that...
Shon, can you kind of explain to our audience what lupus is?
Lupus is an autoimmune disease that causes the body to fight against itself. Basically, when it happens, your good cells try to fight the bad cells away, or then you have your good on good that starts just attacking your body. A lot of people think that, lupus is, we call it the invisible disease because you can't see it.
Right.
I don't care, you can be as sick as you can be in ICU and still don't look like you need to be there because it attacks from the inside. It doesn't always give us the butterfly rash. It doesn't always give you the lesions on your body. So if you don't have the skin part of it and you have the inside, the internal lupus, then it can affect everything. Lupus affects your heart, your kidney, your liver, your lungs. I mean, it's even affected my vocal cord, your stomach, your esophagus. It attacks every muscle and tissue inside of your body.
Right. So, there's days, because I also have lupus, there's days that somebody really be trying me. I'm like, look, my own body trying to kill me today. I don't have time for your shit. It's just people, it's those invisible diseases are so hard.
It is.
Because, there's days just, going to the grocery store and going from the parking lot inside the grocery store is a huge task.
Well, even brushing your teeth.
Yes.
People don't understand that even the simplest thing is scratching your head or turning your neck. Yeah. I mean, you have different restrictions every day. Like, you can wake up and be perfectly fine, and within 10 minutes. Hurting so bad till you just need to go just lay back down. It's so hard to describe to people. The other day I used it. I used to always say, it's like having a toothache over in your entire body, from the top of your head to the bottom.
And that throbbing, that pain.
Ever been awakened in the middle of the night with a toothache? It normally bothers you as soon as you lay down. Yeah, that's what it is. That's what the autoimmune disease and chronic disease does. When you lay down and your body tries to rest, it wakes up and attack every part of you. Yeah. And people say, how do you go 14 hours? How do you get up in the morning at 4:30 in the morning and work all day and do all that you do? My body does not start I ignore it is what I do. I don't pay attention to it until when you stop and sit down, it's over. Yeah. It's over. It's a wrap.
It is, there's so many autoimmune diseases, and some of them are, they attack one part of your body. Some of them is like a combo. I remember my I was initially diagnosed with mixed connective tissue disease, which that scared me to death. It's like, oh, don't Google it.
Right,
my doctor said, don't Google it. And so, of course, I Googled it.
Right.
And I had to call my mama crying.
Right.
But then I, have another rheumatologist and just, he said, it's just full-blown lupus.
Right.
How long did it take for you to get diagnosed?
Well, in 1993, I was at I'll never forget, I had never even heard the word lupus ever before. And I was at my OBGYN getting an ultrasound done for my third baby, Jared. And the lady, the tech, she kept having this concerned look on her face. Like she was looking like, should I tell her? Should I ask her? Kind of thing. And I'm like, is the baby okay? And she was like, yeah. And then she left out and she came back in. And so the doctor came with her and he asked me, he said, had anybody ever told you that it was a possibility that you have lupus?
Wait, just from the ultrasound they were able to?
Wow.
But this is the thing, while they were doing the ultrasound, I had other problems with the reason why they was doing the ultrasound. But when they were doing the ultrasound, they realized that I had an irregular heartbeat, that my heartbeat was abnormal. So, of course, that was kind of one of the reasons. And then the blood tests and other things, too. Okay. That was the first time I had ever heard of lupus. So, of course, I was young, and I didn't pay attention, and I didn't care. So, after I had my baby and the symptoms went away, I just didn't even worry about it again. I would get sick on and off, and I didn't really seriously get, and I have to be honest, I didn't take any medicine or pay attention to what they were saying until my body just literally laid me flat on my face, paralyzed.
Yeah. That was kind of a little bit of my story too. It was weird because I was going to my PCP and I was like, man, every day at 3:00 in the afternoon, I said, I feel horrible. And, he was like, well, what's going on at 3:00? I'm like, I'm getting off from work. That's usually a time to celebrate. You can relax. I said, I pick up my daughter. We get home. He was like, well, maybe it's just the stress from all of that. I'm like, but I don't feel stressed. No. And I said, I just feel bad. I can't even describe it. I just feel just bad.
It turns on.
So
the life out of it.
So, he tried to explain it without explaining anything. And so my husband and I we were engaged. And so we were working with a trainer doing boot camp. And so one day I was like, man, my back hurts really, really, really bad. And, kind of took the day off. And the next day I was like, no, it's still bad. I can hardly turn my neck. Right. So went to the doctor thinking it was, just from the working out, got a shot. And I'm like, okay, I'm good. Next week, tell my husband, I can't move. I cannot get out of this bed. And that's a weird, scary thing. And I was just like, I can't move. Right. And he was like, is it your back? I'm like, but I can't do anything. Right. And my doctor's like, we can't find anything wrong for months and months and months. Oh, no. And then at some point you're like, am I crazy? Yeah. Like, what is this? You start doubting yourself. Yes. And then just being persistent. That's why I always tell people, keep being persistent. I said, just because they're a doctor doesn't mean they know all the answers. Sometimes they don't look for certain things. So finally, I guess he was like, okay, this bitch is not going to let this up. I'm tired of her calling me. I'm tired of her cussing out my nerves. Right. So he was like, you know what? Your rheumatoids are high. I'm like, I don't even know what that is. Yeah, the rheumatoid factor. And then the journey started.
Renee on my Facebook Live says it took 19 years for me to get an accurate diagnosis.
And I believe that. Wow. It takes a lot of, because they don't look for it at all.
Was this something back in the day? Wasn't that common?
No, it was common back in the day.
How long has it? I mean,
and they found that lupus. The first case was found in the 1900s. The first time they actually found a regimen that worked was 1948. So in 1948 is when they started finding that you could use cancer drugs that was also able to not cure you from cancer, but was used to help fight cancer. Right. So that's when they started using the different, and people ask me that all the time. Well, why do you need chemo if you only have lupus, or why do you need chemo for autoimmune disease? Well, some of the same medicines that are taken for cancer are also given to autoimmune disease patients, and that's when they kind of started their first, I guess, what do you call it? Like that first guinea pig series when they started really just kind of playing with stuff to see what would work and what wouldn't. And everything don't work for everybody. That's why
two cases are the same.
There's only one common medicine that everybody that you talk to will take, and that's Plaquenil. Yeah. Anything else, you may be on 50 other different meds. We only have one common med,
and that's
the Plaquenil.
Because I don't know anyone else who takes Vimovo.
No, I don't. I've never.
Most of the time, people are like, "What is that?" Even other doctors are like, "What is Vimovo?"
Yeah.
And when they look it up, they're like, "Your rheumatologist is really smart."
Yeah. To even think to give you that, right?
Because it's an anti-malaria,
right?
Medication.
Yeah. And when you read what it's for, you like,
huh? Did y'all see how they were injecting polio into the tumors in the brain? Now they're saying just a small amount of polio into the tumor is helping people live like 3 years longer when you have a brain tumor.
No,
wow.
It's amazing. My favorite cousin Rhonda was diagnosed with lupus right in her college years, and I've seen what she's gone through with that. And you don't really know because, like you said, it's so silent. It's not so obvious, and you're like, "What's wrong?"
Yeah,
and it's hard to explain to somebody what it is if you don't know. So I think it's really good with her magazine because I mean, it's awareness not just for the spouses but for the family too, because you're like you don't really know how to sympathize or how to help. Yeah, even because you can't see it.
You can't see it.
You look great today. Like, you would never know. Yes. I mean, it's both of you guys. Like, it's never
scary
know.
Because it's just, and then we learn how to trick everyone.
Yeah,
you know what I mean. Even yourself. Yeah, you
you trick yourself a lot of time, and that's the scary part. I think what scares me the most is that I always tell my doctor that I'm so afraid of not knowing the serious. That I need to go to the hospital today. Right. Like I fight not to go so much. Yeah. It scares me to the point where I'm like, okay, one day I may really need to go and I don't want to go. And that's happened a couple of times. Right. I just fought my husband. I don't want to go. Yeah. Please, I don't want to go. I don't want to go. Leave me alone. I don't want to go. Right. Yeah. You know.
But they know sometimes because after just watching us for so many years, they like I've never had let me knock on wood. I've never had to go into the hospital for lupus. I've had to go because of things that lupus triggered, but not, specifically for lupus. But there's times when my husband's like, you've been in bed too many days. You need a steroid pack. Yeah. And just like how you said, I don't want to go to the hospital. I'm like, I don't want that. Because it's so hard on your body.
It tears your stomach up.
It's very hard. And then you can gain like 20 pounds in like a day.
From just smelling it. Girl, look, my mind, when they say prednisone all around, my belt get tight.
My daughter was on that with asthma. And
it will blow you up.
You be eating the whole house.
You really, really do.
I don't need no help with that.
Yes, you have to.
You're sick as a dog
and
if
then
you
the
don't.
Taste and just
that bitterness in your mouth is
horrible. So, Shon, I want to ask you, how since you were diagnosed, how has your life changed, especially with being a wife, a mother, and a grandmother, and still a career woman? Then you've got all these extra things that you do as well.
Yes, Lord,
and more to come.
Yes, right. Okay, my plate is.
We're adding to it.
Okay. Well, the thing of it is that I guess when I first. I'm older now, so I can kind of get things together a little bit. But because I have the 4 autoimmune diseases, I mean, like when it just was lupus, it was.
There's never just lupus anymore, is it?
No,
it's always
no, ma'am.
Yeah.
If anybody tell you that, just look at them and say, you know what, it's gonna be something else. They're gonna find something else eventually.
It's just like you just wait.
Yes,
you lupus
just wait.
Is not done yet.
No, he's going to go get his cousin, his homeboy. He's gonna go find his last girlfriend.
Yes. I always tell people lupus is a bitch of a disease.
Somebody coming.
She is a bitch. She'll be like, oh, you think you fixing to have a good day? I got something for that ass.
But don't plan something and see don't you have all the energy in the world. You can sit up and watch movies all day if you ain't got nothing going on. Yeah. The moment you tell your brain, I have to be at this event tomorrow, you're going to wake up 3 hours early in so much pain, you're going to be like, I can't make it.
Wow. She going to like
treat
you.
Kind of
yes. That's what says she's a bitch.
What I've learned to do, my husband is, oh my God, when I say this man is
amazing.
Yes. I couldn't have. It's like God handpicked him for this time in my life. But he makes sure that we have alarm sets for me to wake up in the morning and take my meds. I take medicine before I get out of bed. We found things at work. Like you said, at that 12th, when I get to that 13th hour, my body kind of just stops. Like I can no longer move. Right. It's time to go. He can literally look at me and say, He said, put your pen down, put your bag down. It's time to go home.
Right.
Because, I mean, I have 4 grown kids. Still got 2 babies. I have a 10-year-old and a 8-year-old.
Oh, goodness gracious.
Then, yes, my oldest child is 30. And then we have the grandchildren.
Right.
And then we have the school. So I have 220 kids enrolled right now with a full staff.
Wow.
Field trip, summer camp, everything going on.
What kind of school?
We have on the private school side, and then we have daycare side.
Got you. Okay.
So right now it's summer camp. So everybody's there all day.
Yeah.
Big kids, little kids, everybody kid.
Right.
It's there all day, and it's not any breaking point. But and then we have the office, of course. I have Fighting for Her Life and Finding Cure for Our Daughter's office. That it's on the same street. So I had to. You got to pick and choose what's more important and what you really want to do, what you can do, and what you can't do that day.
Right.
Just that.
I like how you said, you know, you get diagnosed with lupus and then you get other things because, again, I get tired of explaining it to people. I really do.
I do too.
I'm just
that's the reason for this.
Good. And people need that. And I will say, you know, my husband, he's an engineer, so he has to like understand everything step by step. So he did his own research.
Right.
Which is scary to do your own research, but you know, our lifestyle changed a lot, and it's getting back to how it used to be, you know, on the go and doing things.
Right.
But then it, you know, I know you and I, before we started the show, were going over our list. You got a longer list than I do.
Yeah.
You know, mine was, you know, the lupus, and then it went to diabetes 1 and 2, and then that led to PCOS, and then I had high testosterone. Like for a woman, 55 is high, and mine was like 296. And I always tell people, I'm like, I'm about to grow a set of balls and a dick any day now. That's just how high that it was. Did you have
the polycystic ovarian syndrome before the lupus?
No.
Oh wow,
so was so grateful that I had my daughter when I did, because I don't think I would be able to have kids right now.
My cousin wasn't able to have kids.
Yeah,
lupus normally you can't. You don't.
They said I could have, but I would have to go through a lot of treatment and things like that. And you know, my husband had a son, I had a daughter. Had we not had any kids, I probably would have gone through with the treatment so that we could have one.
Worth it,
yeah, but I'm like, we good.
Right.
So okay, so tell us your list. What else have you been diagnosed with since you got lupus?
Okay, so the lupus was dormant. And right now, my primary is RA and the Sjögren's syndrome.
What is the second
And a
one?
lot of people don't even know what Sjögren's syndrome is.
Never heard of it.
Because when I go to the ER and I try to tell them, and that's my key to go to another hospital, because the doctors don't even know most of them.
Wow.
Yeah, that's
That's
a key
scary.
to go somewhere else.
What that word is, and instead of not making me feel uncomfortable and just walking out and Googling it or something, or going ask, because you got to remember that the emergency room doctors are just MDs. They're just they're not specialists.
Right, they're not
Not a
specialists.
rheumatologist.
Right.
They may have never heard of that.
Right.
Lupus, of course, they heard of because it's common. But the thing of it is that when you go and your lupus factors are not shown, but you got your the RA, and then you have your Sjögren's. So with my Sjögren's syndrome, it damages your eyes. It gives you dry eye. You get dry mouth, and people think that with this, they think, oh, I can't wear contacts anymore. Like right now, my mouth feels like clay. You get really, really dry. You get tongue tied a lot because of the dryness. It takes the moist out of every part of your body.
Oh, isn't that special and cute?
Yes. When I say
wow, I gotcha.
Including your eardrums.
Wow.
Like it dries you up inside out. So there's medication that you have to take for that. I lost my tear ducts. I mean, the ability to cry. It dried my eyes up so to the point where I thought that that it was the contacts. I thought I needed my glasses adjusted.
Right.
And then I was tested, and they said, no, you have Sjögren's. So Sjögren's dries out every part of your body, like your
never
your
heard
skin.
of it before.
And the way it's spelled, people think it's something else, but it's a real name. It's SJOR.
Oh, I have seen it. I've seen that.
Yeah.
Okay.
If I say it, then you'll know.
Yes, I've seen it because I look at the list of autoimmune diseases. I would have never guessed that's how it was pronounced.
Yeah, it's because it's like show
Got
so
you.
Sjogren's syndrome.
Yes, I most certainly have seen it.
It comes along. It's the family. It's in the family. It's a close.
They're
cousin.
all cousins.
Yeah, it's a close cousin. And then the rheumatoid arthritis, it started affecting my hands, and I started getting the nodules. If you see, I have a few of them. Which unless I just show somebody,
they don't know.
They don't know that this is it. That this hand is not as straight as this one, and I actually have nodules on it. I don't just go around parading it. Thank God it ain't my ring finger. And my ring, I'd be always
that ain't coming on.
Right.
So that's welded on there.
Right. So that that was harder to be just already dealing with one chronic disease and then to be told you have another one.
Right.
And the way that I was told that I had the other one is that I woke up on September 10th, 2010, and I was completely paralyzed. I could not move any part of my body. I didn't feel my feet. I couldn't feel my knees. My hips wouldn't move, and I couldn't turn over. I thought I was moving my body, but I wasn't.
Right.
So I tell that in the magazine, in the first issue, how I found out I was that sick. I had been ignoring it for so many years and not paying attention to it at all. So when I finally woke up that morning, my husband said, "You know what? I'm not gonna wait an hour," because I kept saying, "Just give it some time. Let me get my body together."
Right.
I would have been still laying there. I literally stayed paralyzed for 8 months. I was in a wheelchair. Totally. I had to learn how to walk again. I had to have full rehabilitation. I was taking shots. I gained almost 140 pounds. By the time I got out of the wheelchair, I was 265 pounds.
And you're tiny. How tall are you?
I'm only 5 feet.
So that's a lot.
Not even an inch.
Right.
I'm 5 feet flat.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. So I was a rolling ball of flesh. And, you're talking about swelling to capacity. Couldn't bend your hands, your knees, your feet, ankles, or anything. So I remember the doctor coming in and said, we had been treating me for a lupus flare-up. They said, "I'm sorry to tell you that we finally got the test that we've been waiting to come back. It took like 10 days. And he said that it's not lupus. He said your lupus is not flaring up. He says you have fibromyalgia, you have Sjogren's syndrome, and we found rheumatoid arthritis. And we think that the rheumatoid is what's stopping you from being able to walk because it had damaged my sciatic nerve."
Wow.
So fibromyalgia, did I pronounce it correctly?
Yes, ma'am, you did.
So many people say that is a disease that is all in your head. I know that's not true, but there's
it's
a stigma.
Yeah, right. all them nerves.
People are like, that's not a real disease. It's fake. And I honestly sometimes feel like people think that about lupus too.
Yes, they do.
Until you're in the hospital or it's on your skin and stuff like that. I don't know that much about fibromyalgia because if I stay around, my husband will never let me.
No, you are saying that so correct. Yeah.
So I diagnosed with chronic fatigue. Is that kind of the same thing?
It's all. I mean, that is the most. I think that's the most common thing that all of them share is the chronic fatigue. Every last one of them, if you Google each one by one, you're going to see the chronic fatigue.
Right.
The energy drop is what they call it, the crash.
Yeah.
Crash and burn, because you will get up and you will be okay. The fibromyalgia, what it did to me is like when I step out, you can step out of the shower and it feels like you've been shocked by electricity. Like the nerve damage, it damages the nerve so bad to even vibration from the car hurts your body. Like if you rev the motor or a vacuum cleaner sends like these waves through your body to the point that you're almost trembling and shaking. Right. Because the pain is everywhere. You have nerves in every part of your body. Yeah. Every part of your body has a nerve. I had pain in places I didn't even know I had.
Body parts that existed. Yeah.
What is this? And a sharp pain would just go through. And a lot of people don't even know they have it because it's just widespread pain.
And then you get used to feeling a certain way and you think it's just you.
You just get immune to it.
Yeah.
You get immune to it.
Especially women, because it's like you have so many things you gotta do. And So what is one thing that you wish that people understood about lupus? Because I tell you this, until celebrities started coming out that they have lupus, you know,
go there.
The Tony Braxtons, the Nick Cannons, Syl, and then especially Selena Gomez.
And her too. When
Selena Gomez started sharing her story, lupus got a lot of attention. I'm like, do you, Selena, please bring more attention to it.
People don't know Michael Jackson, Lady Gaga, they had it. I mean, Lady Gaga not had it. She has it, but Michael had it. he's not here anymore.
Right.
But a lot of people, you know, and then they want to know, well, why would you take that kind of pain meds? Why would he want to take that? Well,
that's why.
Let me tell you, when that
Mm-hmm.
pain is so bad, baby, anybody who had it, even one flare up, can tell you that you want an IV pump in your room.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
You want to be able to go to sleep and not feel that pain. The only time you don't consciously know you have it is when you're asleep, if you can stay asleep.
Right.
But it'll wake you up.
At your sleep.
Yeah.
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 It just wake you up.
Screaming.
That's one of the things that I really, I don't care if it takes every bit of my energy that I have, or if I have 10 days, 20 days, or 50 years left on this earth. All I want to do is bring awareness to every single body on the planet, some way, somehow, to let them know that this is real. We need more awareness. We need more awareness about autoimmune disease. We need more awareness about chronic illnesses. You need to know that people are not dying from the actual disease. They're dying from things that come along that have been caused by the disease.
Right.
If you telling me that we're in the year 2018 right now, and they start finding regiments back in 1948, and people are still dying from chronic illness, there's a problem. There's a problem. That means we're not getting to the core of what's causing it. And until you reach where it is, and it starts in our mind, and that's why I go so deep in my inspirational section of the magazine, because I think that if you don't speak to your mind and tell your mind that I can be okay, that medication and that disease will make you think that I'm not going to be okay.
That's
and
right.
people are literally dying from the depression part of the disease.
Right.
That's right.
Because you can't do anything. You can't move. They're not lazy. They're not crazy. They're not insane. I want to be. I want to go crazy on the doctors. I want to flip that hospital bed over. Every time they come in there with a different lie or a different medication, I just want to jump up and go crazy. But I know that it's not going to solve the problem. But I think that if we just stop covering it up and stop acting like we're not hurting, it's so many people that are going on with their lives and not explaining to your kids. My kids need to know.
Right.
They need to know your mom is sick. I'm not lazy. I don't just want to lay in the bed. When I need to stop, I need to stop.
Right.
When I say don't stress me out, I mean don't stress me out.
Because stress can cause a flare. It's a trigger, most definitely. It's a trigger,
you know. So women need to know that we are one in this autoimmune disease. And so many people have it and don't know.
Yeah.
They don't know. And there's so many of them.
Right.
So, you know, I try not to just focus on lupus. I try to make sure that the whole community is touched, because MS is taking us out of here. Rheumatoid is taking us out of here. Lupus is taking us out of here. You have osteoarthritis. People are dying from that chronic fatigue. It's in the autoimmune family.
Yeah.
You know, now
it's a real diagnosis.
Yes,
I know some people are like, oh, that's just something for lazy people. No.
No.
When your doctor says it's real.
It's
real.
But it goes back to your mind, like, because a lot of it's giving up.
Yeah.
It's like, I can't get help. I don't know what to do. You get tired of it.
You get very tired emotionally.
Yes. You're like, is this worth the fight? If I didn't have the support team that I have, my God, if my kids and my husband wasn't who they are, and my mom and my dad, you know, my mom prayed like somebody just out of this world, like I mean, for my sanity, you know, because it's so many times when you try to be strong for everybody around you, but you can't even be strong for yourself. Like you get moments where you are literally cracking in half, and to be able to say, I can't show that today because I got to go over here and talk to so and so.
We do it a lot.
You know, it's just not fair.
Yeah,
I should be able to have a day when I don't want to care.
Yeah,
right. That's right.
about your problem.
Yeah.
If you stepped into this raggedy body for one day, you would give it back and never want it again. And I cannot stand the fact that people want to have something that we would do anything not to have. Please stop going around diagnosing yourself.
Right.
Yes.
Do you hear me, Keisha?
Yes, I do.
Well, like, they just really? Stop it already.
Yes. Sometimes I just look at people and I'm like,
girl. And you don't know, and I said, what medications do you take? And when they go, I don't take anything.
Oh, okay. Well, that must be really nice.
Let me know who your doctor is.
Exactly. That's a miracle worker right there.
Yes, baby. I got Minga in my life, and this lady right here.
Is that your doctor?
Yes, ma'am. She keeps me on my toes, and I mean, when I say will fuss me up under the hospital bed, she's not playing any games with
and it's so important to have a good
doctor.
rheumatologist.
Yes,
and
baby.
I mean, there's times where my doctor knows that I know my body well enough. I don't have to go in there. Yeah, I'm like, Dr. Shangretti, I need a serial pack.
My voice.
Right, yeah. I know my husband knows when I say this is my famous line. My back feels like it has cement on it. And he was like, Keisha, have you called your rheumatologist?
Right.
Because that's not, you don't want to feel like you got a slab of cement on your back. Right. Or when those knees start to crunching, they sound like Rice Krispie treats because they go pop, 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 pop. He's like, just call. He's like, have you called? I'm like, no, let me get one more day.
Right.
Let me try to stay in the bed one more day. And yeah, he's like, tomorrow you're going to call. And then it's like, you know what? You just got to do it.
You got to get up.
You got to do it.
Yeah.
Okay. When we get back, we're going to talk to Miss Amber. I do everything in the world in this deal. She's going to tell us about all the moves that she's making in the Houston area.
Yeah.
I'll be right back. Welcome back to the Libra Lounge. Shon, that story. And it's not a story. It's reality.
Your story.
It's a journey.
It's your story.
Yes, it's a journey.
Yeah.
So now it's time for Miss Amber Neal. Tell us why you are working so hard to get Houston on the map for talent.
Yes. Because people think when you get off work, because, they think the people on the East Coast and the West Coast think that we get off work and we get on our horse and go home and blaze a trail.
They really do, though.
They really do. They always think we own horses and cows.
Have you seen how they portray us?
Yeah.
I mean, it cracks me up how they portray us in the movies and stuff. Yeah. And but the reality of it is we might have a horse, but we don't ride it to work anymore.
But we also have
horses, and we have big guns, so don't mess with us.
You're
okay? Right. But the reality of it is that Houston is number 2 behind New York for arts and theater, culture. We're the number 1 place to live. The best food, the best cost of living. The schools are great. I mean, there's literally every reason to be here in the South. You don't have to deal with the brutal winters, the summers, but
you ain't gonna get a winter.
I know. We ain't coming there this year.
I wear flip-flops year round, so I love that. But and it's funny being a native Houstonian. It cracks me up how you see other native Houstonians come every year. It's like, I can't believe how hot it is. Like you've lived here your whole life. It's 105 every day.
Even in October. I'm like, it's hot.
But I'm really trying to. I'm really tired of people feeling like they have to leave Houston to make a name for themselves. Right. You don't. It's really just about who you know, and it's really just about networking and being able to get your brand out there to where people can see it. But the show that I'm working with now, Becoming Houston, we have our casting call this Saturday, and some ladies that I'm sitting with are going to be out there. I'm just saying.
She's so corny.
Yes, but yeah, so it's really about becoming Houston, and it's because we are, as Houston itself is becoming. A lot of celebrities are getting their second, third homes here. A lot of people, there's more millionaires in Houston than any other part of Texas. It's crazy though. There's a huge gap though. The median income here in Houston is $33,000 compared to like League City is $97,000. So it just depends on where you live. Right. But then you have that gap, and then you have like it's really rich.
Right. Yeah.
But the movers and shakers in Houston, out of the 6 million people here, there's just a group of people. Everybody knows everybody, or you're one person away.
Right.
But if you really stop having a selfish taker mentality, and you really give every resource you have and all your connections away, and you help other people, and you unite, you actually can do a lot more than if you try to do it yourself. Right. Even the president has advisors.
Right.
Our current one might need some new ones, but I'm just saying, especially since we're getting
if we could just get if we could just get him off Twitter,
right?
I'd be happy.
I would be so happy.
Exactly.
But it's time for people. We are the third largest city now. It is time for people to take Houston serious.
Right. Beyond Beyonce.
And Beyonce don't even have her own day in the city yet, which is surprising. But it is time. It is time. It is time. So I'm trying to pull all the major movers and shakers together and that I know and connect the dots and finally put Houston on the map.
So tell us a little bit more about Becoming Houston and the part that you're playing up close with it.
Well, last year I was in the pilot season. It's executive producer Rosalind Jordan. She's the show creator, and she had this vision for getting entrepreneurs that make their living through networking together. And you don't have to really be made per se. It's just that you are in the process of becoming the best in your industry, in your field, your rising star. And so last year I was cast in the pilot season, and I guess I became so much last year that they've asked me to be their official publicist. So now I'm actually helping with that part of it, and it's really exciting because I love doing my strength and doing what I do and helping the show. And it's another business owner that wants to get it out there. So I'm going to use any connections I have to try to help blow that up. I'm real passionate. I'm a native Houstonian, so I'm real passionate about putting Houston on the map.
Okay. So I know you've always got something going on. I mean, I did your show last Saturday, and then I went home. I did some other stuff, and then I'm like, "Ooh, I'm tired." And I see you out. So I'm like, "Really?" I'm like over here trying to eat a little bit of McDonald's, and she's at another event.
Yes,
I'm like, okay,
yes.
all right, let me get up and try to do something. Tell us about the Total Package Awards that are coming up in July.
Okay, so basically the Total Package Awards is where, as Houston's Millionaire Matchmaker, I name the top 10 most eligible bachelors, bachelorettes, and top 20 power couples. And it's about a total package, meaning beautiful inside and out. Everybody's beautiful to me if they have a good soul, if their spirit is right. And it's really about their community outreach. What are they doing in the community? You have all those things, but what are you doing with it?
Right.
So the people that I have named are amazing people, but they're also, their community outreach is amazing. And each year, I started this last year, I name one Legends power couple. And somebody in the room is my Legends power couple. There's half of it. There's half of the couple. Ready, but they are so amazing. Coming from a situation, I'm very open with my life. My parents were married and divorced 3 times each. And they just didn't have a lesson. My mom's an orphan. She didn't really know. My dad was a baby of 10 kids. He didn't really have, his dad died when he was 12. They just literally they didn't know. Right. And so it's not, I've always said it's not that I witness this perfect family, but I didn't. So it makes me passionate to, when I find people like Shon and Freddie and I see the love is so, it's just, I feel like I'm watching a Lifetime movie.
Right.
And it's so real, and I'm an empath, so I can read people like that, So when I see something so genuine, so amazing, so inspiring, pop culture now teaches us, hey, just get a divorce if it don't work out. Right. Who cares, Oh, you've only been married twice. That's it. Like, I'm on my 5th husband by now. I don't want to do that.
Catch up.
Yes,
right.
Catch up.
Where you been?
And, from a spiritual standpoint, for me, it's about learning how to break those generational curses that my mom's family went through. And my dad was an atheist, so he never really had God in his life too, and I see how that turned out for him. And they're both alone. They're both, neither one of them are married now.
They're not gonna get back together with one another?
No, not at this
Be
point.
Roommates?
No, they'd probably kill each other. We'd be going to funerals. But my thing is, because I've been through so much with that it shows me what not to do. It shows me how toxic attracts toxic and healthy attracts healthy. And I really think that I want to give an example with the Total Package Awards. The first year I did it, it was a private event, and it was where just the honorees came, but what I got out of it was the single people were telling me how inspiring and amazing it was to hang out with the couples and hear the stories and hear what it really takes to stay together in today's world.
Right.
And so, pop culture teaches you just get a divorce, marry somebody else, who cares? But I want to give people a way to fight for their relationship. And my true goal in life, if I leave this world and I have one goal, is to lower the divorce rate. And people laugh me out of the room when I say that. Right. They're like, oh, you're too late. It's too late for that. No, it's not too late. Right. The reality of it is there's a lot of miserable, bitter people walking around in denial, lying to themselves, not realizing they are the problem, not willing to get real about the things in their life that brought them to that point, not realizing why they're attracting toxic people, because a lot of times they are themselves toxic. Right. We have to, just like mental health, just like the autoimmune diseases, we have to talk about things in this country that are just really big problems, that people are suffering and going through. And a lot of the same people, all men are dogs, or all women are this. And, now women have become like men in every sense of the word. And everybody is so confused. Nobody knows what to do. So my goal is, I just really want to provide a way that, like, we're going to have our July 13th, we're going to have our pre-gala mixer. It's going to be a meet and greet for all the honorees. And I want to make sure that, because I've launched my social club for faith-based couples in November at iHeartMedia. It's called Maridate. And I want faith-based couples that are really committed to their marriage. And I have to say faith-based because it is a spiritual mission for me. It's important, because if I don't say faith-based, I'm gonna have a bunch of swingers in there trying to destroy the relationships. Because Houston is the #1 spot for swingers. And that's not it for me. So
I want it.
I don't share well like that.
Right?
No, you cannot. But it's really about couples that are movers and shakers, that have their life together. I want them to be able to connect to each other. Houston, as the go-to girl, there's 1,200 people a day moving here. I want couples to be able to have a resource to find other couples for friendship, because it will actually lower the cost for employers moving people here. When, let's say, the wife, or nowadays wife, or whoever's getting moved here, the husband or the wife, the other spouse that's sitting there bored, that doesn't know anybody, that may not even be working, has no outlet, no connection. There's events and adventures for single people. You have a great way to plug in. But what about for couples? Right. And I've had couples ask me my whole life, like, when are you going to start doing stuff for us? Like, when are you going to help us keep the romance, keep the passion? How do we do this? How do we not lose it? Right. So I've been doing that as a matchmaker. I stay involved all the whole time and help them make sure it's good, and stay involved as the mediator or the event planner or the romance person or whatever I need to do to make sure they don't blow it. Right. Why not do this for? It's like, I got you, but can you keep it?
Right. Yeah. That's the problem that a lot of people have, is being able to keep it.
Yes. Yeah. So, and that's the thing. But if you think back in the day when you looked at marriage, or you talked about divorce, people, if you told your girlfriend, I'm leaving him, they would, oh no, the whole family would come together, friends would come together, we're having a potluck, everybody's coming over, and y'all are not getting divorced. Yes. Nowadays, it's like, I would leave him, So please
divorce
stop
parties.
taking advice.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yes. Full-fledged party.
I just really firmly believe in my heart that the biggest thing outside of social media, because social media was cited for 50% of the divorces last year. People logging on to their, even LinkedIn, social media, different ones, finding their old flame, that sort of stuff. That is a huge problem. There's so many things. Cheating is at your fingertips, and it's so easy. It always starts off, I'm just gonna look, I'm just gonna chat. Well, I'm just gonna meet for dinner, and then my legs are in the air. How'd that happen?
Right. And it said hi with what?
Right. What? Yeah. Let me get. So I want to provide a resource for couples to meet other couples that are committed to their marriage, that really, hey, we're not perfect. Marriage is slam doors, hurt feelings, emotions, bad things happen. Kids, especially blending families with, step kids and things like that. And it's like, I love you, you're my spouse, but that's my child. And you're supposed to put your spouse before your child. But what if that's not your blood child? Then how does that work? Right. So Meridate is going to provide resources, the best experts, you're fighting over money. We have a resource for that. You're fighting over how to blend kids. We have a resource. So I want to be that one-stop shop for couples to find friendship, to have events planned, to keep the passion alive. But it's so important because so many couples take advice from their bitter single friends. I wouldn't put up with that if I was you. Yeah, right. I'm sure you wouldn't. Right. Leave them. You need to leave her. You can do better.
Right.
Stop listening to people that you don't want to be like, first of all.
Yeah, that's very true.
And that don't mean single. That means bitter.
Right.
You don't want to listen to bitter, angry people but like what you said is so real about the mind. You got to think of your mind like soil, and every thought is a seed, and it has to manifest. It is literally the law of sowing and reaping. I love quantum physics, but it is literally, it has to happen. Right. So we manifest the life that we want. And even though there's some things that we can't change as far as sickness, but you would be surprised how the body is designed to heal itself. But if you literally give up in the mind, so it's the same thing in a relationship. Right. If you tell yourself there's only bad people out here, that all men are cheaters, all men are dogs, all women are this, or all women are gold diggers, guess what you're going to keep meeting? Guess what you're going to keep attracting? Because that's what you think, and you are literally manifesting that life for yourself. Right. So my goal is to give a resource for couples to fight for their relationship.
Nice. I think that's something that's greatly needed because a lot of attention goes towards trying to get people together and not helping people stay together. Yep. And it's a job to be married. I mean, that's
it's like compromise.
It's like you're going to work and your coworker makes you mad, and you got to go home with the same coworker. Right. You know what I mean? You got to sleep next to the same coworker. So I want to ask both of you, if you could work with any celebrity, who would it be and why?
Wow, any celebrity. No. I mean, my favorite was Prince. I mean, I love music is actually my first passion. I love music. So
it can be someone who's no longer here.
I think it's Prince for me because Prince is my all-time favorite artist, if I could only pick one.
So when you say, would you want to record something with him? Would you just want to be his video vixen? Do you want to be his producer?
Well, God knew not to make me skinny because he knew I've been on a pole. Okay, but
a purple pole.
Okay, it would have been purple, and I would have been coming down to Prince for Purple Rain. Yes, God knows. Plus, it wouldn't be fair to other girls if I was skinny,
right?
But I kid. But I just
for everybody,
right?
they would have to be. They cannot use sheetrock. Is all I'm saying. They would have to mount that to something a little bit more sturdy.
Sturdy.
Yeah. But Prince. I mean, just his creative energy. I mean, he was just a genius. I mean, just his genius, and his music is so it touches you. It makes you feel it. Makes you feel where he comes. Did you hear his family's they're releasing more of his songs now? Yeah. So for me, it's Prince.
I don't know if you saw the episode of The Libra Life where I sang some classic hits, including one that was written by Prince, Nothing Compares to You.
Yes.
I'm not saying I did it justice, but I did sing it.
Okay. Yeah, because he wrote that for Sinead O'Connor.
Yes. You have to check that one out. Okay, so Shon, if you could work with one celebrity, who would it be and why?
Toni Braxton.
Toni Braxton.
Yes.
Why would you work with Toni?
I don't want to use the word admire.
That's my dog snoring.
Yeah. She's been my favorite, forever. I used to sing all her songs to my son.
Okay, let's sing one. Which one? Which one we're gonna sing? Which one?
Well, I love me some him.
Yeah. I love me some him.
Well, if this don't work out, she's got a career in singing.
No, it was only I can only do those little deep notes where you can't really tell if I hit the right note or not.
I like her. She's classy. she's meek, but she's also strong. She's a entrepreneur. She goes for what she set her own stage. You know, she manages herself, but since the husband is no longer the manager.
I heard they're getting back together.
No, she's engaged to Birdman.
What? She
engaged.
Yeah.
To Bird.
Don't get me started.
But, you know, some people just look.
Oh, I'm thinking of her sister. I'm tripping.
Yes, you're talking about Tamar.
Yeah, Tamar.
Yeah, but I mean, I just absolutely like everything about what she stands for.
Except Birdman.
Right?
Even when the show first
he just look like his breath smells.
Oh my God, Keisha.
You know, you see somebody, you're like, I bet your breath just stinks.
No,
he just
it's
like that.
because he's suspect anyway.
Oh my God, y'all are crazy.
Sorry, Tony.
Yeah.
So I don't mean to rain on your parade, but Birdman.
No.
Anybody but Birdman.
He had tattoos on his face.
He's not attractive. Okay.
Everywhere,
but he's rich, but he's not attractive.
Sometimes when it comes around to that second marriage, you're like,
you won't find, like, you know, I can see that he brings out a part of her that she's probably always wanted.
Right.
She's always been sweet, sassy. But this, you know, you like when me and my husband role play, you know, like when we date somebody else, you want to be somebody different.
Right,
you know,
right.
Sometimes, you know, I normally wear blonde hair, I'm brown today, you know, like whatever, however. You want to just spice it up with keep it. And I see that, you know, people like, why him?
Yeah.
Because she's like, you know what? He's different, but we have some of the similar things. Because y'all must don't follow her or watch her show, but
no, I haven't watched it in years.
Yes, well, I really, I'm gonna see her. I'm gonna meet her one day. I'm gonna invite her to something.
Well, because she does a lot for lupus awareness as well.
She does. She has a lupus foundation. She doesn't do as much as she should. You know, because
with her platform.
Yes, with the platform, she could do a lot more. Right. But I understand her hustle is what it is. I mean, she's a single mom and she has to work. And then everybody you don't want sympathy. So I understand in her field why she doesn't talk about it as much. Right. You know, she don't want them to say, well, why is she dancing like that and wearing those heels? And she got lupus and she just got out the hospital. And, you know, it affected her heart first. And then she had to have, she's had surgeries, some of the same ones I've had. She had to have emergency hysterectomy. I mean, it's a lot of stuff that she's been through that she didn't want to share at first, but she went ahead and shared it in her book and things like that. And then she came out on the show and talked about it. But she's just, I like class. Right. I mean, trash ain't all that bad sometimes. So
oh, thank God you said that, because I am trash all day, every day.
I don't have nothing against trash.
They try to throw a little glitter on me. Let us talk about still trash.
I have nothing against trash. I have not prejudiced of it at all. I just say, hey, sometimes I just like that little classy, sassy thing, you know. So, yeah, that's why.
Okay, so Tony and Prince. All right, so when we get back, I want you guys to let our audience know everything that you guys have got coming up pretty soon, how they can find you. Don't give me your real phone numbers, cause
I got an 844 for you.
Perfect. All right, we'll be right back. All right, welcome back to the Libra Lounge, everyone. I want to say a big thank you to Miss Shon Willis-Williams. And make sure you check out her magazine, which is what is Fighting for Her Life magazine. Yeah. Okay. How can they find this magazine?
At www.fightingforherlife.com. Okay. You can order it there, and we'll ship it to you.
Okay. So what do you have coming up?
I'm gonna let Amber tell you all my schedule.
Okay. Well, tell us your website one more time so people can subscribe and get your magazine.
Yes, ma'am. It is www.fightingforherlife.com, and you can order the magazine. You can follow me. You can find out what's going on. We're also on Facebook.
Okay.
Shon Willis-Williams. The fan page is pink page, because everybody's asking me for my friend on my personal page, but it's
that's weird.
Yeah. I'm full.
I don't know.
Just
after
go like
every
the
show,
page.
I get more people.
And people can follow you, but you can't be friends.
Yeah, but the thing of it is that I say the same thing on both pages, so just like me over there, and we good.
Yeah.
You know, but and then Instagram, of course, same thing. It's Miss Shon _, but the one that's for the magazine is cure for our daughters.
Yeah.
Got it. Make sure to follow Miss Shon on Facebook and Instagram, and go to her website so you can get more information about what she's up to, and so you can get her magazine.
Thank you.
Okay, Miss Amber, okay, so we ain't got that much longer.
Okay.
Because I know this way. You can think however long you want. Because I know she's probably got a scroll of all the stuff that she has coming up next.
Yeah. I do want to, I am Miss Williams' official publicist.
Nice.
So I will make the announcement for her. But I'm also going to she is actually about to become a TV producer.
Oh, nice.
She is going to executive produce her own new talk show.
Yeah, nice.
Yes. So
make sure you let me be a guest.
Yes.
Don't act like you forgot about me.
No. You already on the list.
So this is going to be we're going to co-produce her show together, and it is going to be so amazing. I'm super excited. So she actually is doing her reveal with you today.
Oh,
yeah.
Congratulations.
She hasn't told anybody. So
you heard it here first on the Libra.
Yeah. You sure did.
But you won't hear it last.
Right now, as far as I go, I'm just working on trying to grow my PR firm. I'm trying to help other businesses get out there with all my connections. The reality show for the female comedians, we're starting to film. There's some major names behind it, so this is a potential break for me. I'm about to start working with the Joke Joint Comedy Club, and I'll make announcements on the details of that coming up soon. And just trying to get out there and help people find their dreams and be that go-to girl for Houston and whatever they have coming up. But my next event is going to be super high publicity. Keisha is the official red carpet host. Go Keisha! Yeah. And then we have
right.
Yes, it is going to be when I say a lot of media out there. We have 2 TV shows. We have the Amber Neal show. We have Cat TV. Both have 3 million viewers on Comcast Cable. We have the Real Housewives of Houston magazine in the building. Fighting for Her Life magazine is going to be in the building. Shon will have her new show out there as well. We're going to have Tim Thorne with the red carpet. He's going to be the Houston Fashion Police. It is formal.
I'm scared.
Dressed to impress. Dressed to impress.
Tim, don't come for me if I don't come correct.
We have Swag Entertainment providing delicious food for us. We have a food vendor, so come hungry. We're going to have some vendors you can visit. We're going to have H-Town Casino and Events are providing blackjack, craps, and roulette, so it's going to be fun. We have the highest chip count winners are going to win. We have Michael DeMars. He is his stylist to the stars. He is donating 7 complete makeovers for giveaways.
Can you get 8 and have me?
Saying,
he can hook me up.
Can I get the hookup? We have Red Lobster giving away some gift certificates.
Nice.
I'm working on some really fun prizes and giveaways for the chip count winners since it's illegal to gamble. But it's going to be bring plenty of business cards. This is a super, super big networking event. We are honoring the top 10 bachelorettes, and power couples, and Shon and Freddie as our legends couple. But at the end of the day, it is about the double charities that we are benefiting. This is benefiting We See Abilities and Special Angels of the Woodlands. We See Abilities works with the special needs communities for children with athletes and celebrities, and the Special Angels works with they have a adult day hab for special needs adults.
Okay.
So there's a lot of really goodness going in here. There's a lot of people involved in this event, too many to name. You can find all the information as far as email, phone number, social media for me on my website, amberneal.com.
And if anyone wants to buy tickets to the Total Package Award, can they also go to amberneal.com?
Yes.
All righty, there you have it. And again, congratulations, Shon, on your new talk show. And it is time for the Bitch Please of the week.
Bitch Please. You be rolling down the street telling stories, bitch, you never tell the truth. Bitch Please. Everybody know you lying, bitch, cause all you do is lie.
This week's Bitch Please has to go to Melania Trump.
You mean when she married Donald?
Besides that, you know what I mean? She gets bitch please of the century for that one right there.
She was, gold diggers get what they get sometimes.
Yes,
you know?
yes. Okay, so, we've got all of this immigration stuff going on. Children are being separated from their parents, at the border, which is, it's really, really sad. Videos and photos have been released. So Melania Trump being the first lady, let me see if I can do a Russian accent. I'm going to see the children. Is that
She is the most non-visible first lady I've ever seen.
Oh, she really? I think it's because she's not that smart.
Right.
I really don't think she's dumb, but I don't think she's a Michelle Obama.
Please, that's an insult to even compare.
So she goes to
it died both of them.
She goes to visit I hate to even call it this, but it really is what it is, immigration camps.
Yeah.
And as she gets off of, Air Force One?
Right.
She has on, I'm going to give her props. She has on this really cute jacket.
Right.
But on the back, it says, and I don't even care. Is that what it said?
Mm-hmm.
And I don't even care. And it was just like, of all the things for her to wear, granted, that is what she wore on the plane, but she knows she's going to be photographed after she gets off.
Right.
She has on this jacket that says, and I don't even care. It really had people in their feelings. It's like, why would you wear that? Are you saying that you don't care about immigration? Because Melania, you are an immigrant, as well as Donald Trump's first wife.
No, she don't care that she's married to him.
And you know what?
It's
lot
subliminal.
of people are saying that.
Yes, women. We know what this is.
It's a dig towards Trump. I think it is.
Like, I don't care. Yeah. I can say whatever. I know who he is.
Right. Yeah.
And that's why I don't live in the White House with him.
Yeah, and a lot of people are saying this is not the first time that Melania has sent out a subliminal message about how she really feels about Trump.
Yes.
And I get that. I'm all for being
I
petty. I'm always for speaking your truth. But Melania, you gotta kind of coordinate a little bit better when this is such a sensitive topic right now, and it's dealing with kids. Come on.
Yes, exactly.
I mean, next time just put Dora the Explorer on the back of your jacket. I mean, because she's an immigrant and she's a child, so at least I would say that you care a little bit.
Really get people in arms then.
Oh, right. So a lot of people took to Twitter and they started making their own jackets, and they're like, November is coming. So watch out now. So yes, the bitch please of the week goes to Melania Trump. Next week, I forget who we're having on the show next week. But of course, you can always follow me on Facebook and on Instagram and on the Twitter. And you can also check out my blog at www.thelibralounge.net. I always say it wrong, y'all, but I think I said it right this time. And make sure to check us out on iTunes. Again, thank you so much, Shon and Amber.
Thank you.
And we will see you next week.